Hey, this is Lynn. Happy Monday. Today is June 17th, 2024, and I've just completed week 55 on the carnivore diet. It's going so fast. But I'm here to report my results from this past week. It has been, I think this is my second time checking in after returning from Texas, and I did gain a little weight on the trip to Texas, and so I've been very curious to see what was going to happen as I settled back in to life, settle back into the climate that I'm used to and the routine that I'm used to. And so I'm going to report and let you know how I'm doing. I would say that overall, I'm actually feeling pretty good. I spent maybe 5 days or so where after returning from Texas, where I felt low energy and kind of just didn't feel like doing a whole lot and just didn't, it was kind of my typical return from travel type experience. For years and years, if I ever traveled, I would always have to book time off after I got home for recovery. And I would say this recovery was definitely much better than the previous times because I was still able to be around doing things, up and around doing things. I just felt a little bit of fatigue. Whereas in the past, I would have been literally laying around, probably just watching TV, binge watching something for a week or so after returning from a vacation. So vacations were not really vacations. They were exhausting. And I mean, travel, yes, can be exhausting, but man, it was exhausting. I definitely needed a lot of recovery time. So I think that I've definitely improved. Was tired, maybe 5 days or so, just a little extra tired. But I feel as though my energy is definitely back to what it was before I left for Texas. So that's good. Let's see. So this past week was fun. So Lindy from Limitless Lindy and I started an arm flab challenge. And if you haven't watched the videos yet, check them out. We had a live stream that we did together. Where we went ahead and shared what we were going to do. And we're following a video of Dr. Berg where he shows this other video with these arm exercises. So we've been doing the arm exercises. So today for me is going to be day 3. Officially, it was going to start on the June 15th, which in the US was just, a couple days ago. So when we filmed this, it was Friday the 14th for me in my time, but it was already Saturday the 15th for Lindy. So I think she's on day 4 now. I'm on day 3. So it's going to be 30 days. So we're going to straddle from June 15th to the middle of July and give it 30 days and see what happens. But we've showed ugly pictures of our arm flab. We measured our arm flab, and then I did a video just showing my first attempt at doing the exercises. They may look easy when you sit and you watch her do them, but they are not easy. And if any of you watching this are doing them, you will know what I'm talking about when I say the prayer one is really hard. Like, really hard. To me, that's the hardest one. I mean, there's several that are harder than others, but the prayer one, holy cow, that is really hard. So if you haven't watched, check it out. If you haven't joined and you feel like you needs to help with some of the arm flab, go ahead and join, give it a try. And we're not saying it's 100% going to work. We're putting this video to the test because Dr. Berg says that if we do this, our arm flab will improve because it is working the fascia, which is a thin layer. There's 2 thin layers of fascia, the surrounding muscle. And he said that the tone of the fascia can change over time. And so the thing that he says is different with this versus just working out where you're isolating muscles, like say working your bicep or your tricep. He said that's not going to help improve arm flab. So if you're working your arms out, just lifting weights, and you're not seeing any improvement in those bat wings, it is probably because you're not truly working out the fascia, which is everywhere. And so it's important to do specific types of movements in order to really engage that fascia. That is the theory. So we are putting that to the test. So we'll see what happens. But my goal right now is just to get through it. There's 10 exercises and like a minute and a half each. And she guides you through them. So don't be afraid. Give it a try at least. Like I do as much as I can, and then I take a rest, and then I do a little more and take a rest. And you'll see if you watch my day one video, you'll see that I take lots of breaks. It's for sure. Okay, and I also talk back to her because she's like, I hope you're not putting your arms down. Like, oh yeah, I'm definitely putting my arms down. Okay, so I am thinking that I need to wean off coffee again. I'm just having this concern about whether coffee is serving me. I love it. I definitely enjoy it. But do I need it? I'm thinking that maybe I want to do another trial off of coffee and see if I do better off of it. This is a learning experience. I was off coffee for a while, and then I decided to add it back. And I think I want to do another trial off of it and see how I do. Push through those headaches. I don't know if maybe I'll wean down. We'll see how that goes. But I have been adding heavy cream every day to the coffee. I've been a little more lax every once in a while, eating a little bit of cheese. And I'm just kind of wondering if I need to just completely get rid of all of the stuff that's not strictly carnivore and get rid of the dairy and see if that makes an improvement and see if I feel physically better and if my energy is more steady when I'm not on coffee. We shall see. So I think that's one of my goals for this week. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. My sleep schedule, holy cow. I was doing pretty good before I went to Texas, and I was actually getting up really early, and I was going to bed earlier, and I was getting out, and I was doing my grounding. I'm still doing grounding, not every day. It's cold. It's been raining, so I'm not doing grounding every day. But my goodness, bad habits can be really hard to break. Breaking the bad habits is such a challenge, and I know I can do it because I am no longer a sugar addict. But it just seems like I break one habit and then another bad habit rises to the surface. Isn't the way it often is? Developing good habits and breaking bad habits is a challenge. And so I think that one of the bad habits I need to really keep working on breaking is the sleep. Now my husband goes to bed really early, and I've been like 7:30 because he gets up at 1:45 in the morning to go to work. And so I have been going to bed and I've been reading to him, which helps him to fall asleep very quickly. And I'm also enjoying it because I'm getting a lot of reading done. And then once he's asleep, and I read out loud to him, of course. Once he's asleep, I just continue to read silently to myself. And it's not that I'm necessarily getting back up and hanging out for the rest of the evening. Sometimes I am, but most of the time, I'm just in bed reading. I have this adjustable bed, so the head comes up. We've got the split king, and so his side can be down flat, my side can be up. And I can sit there and I can really comfortably read. I've got this light that goes around my neck that's like a reading light. It has lights on both ends, and I can click them and they turn on real nice, and I can adjust it and shine it right on the book. Love it. And so I've been really enjoying reading in bed. And then, of course, I get onto YouTube and I start watching videos. And next thing you know, it's like midnight. I've had nights where I've been up lately, maybe even 2:00 in the morning. And the other night I couldn't get to sleep. I was just, even after I put everything away, which was probably about midnight or so, I couldn't get to sleep. And I lay there awake. I probably should have just got up. But anyways, it is my current battle to try to get my sleep schedule on track again. So I'm going to work on that this week. Probably force myself just when I'm I don't want to go to bed at 7:30, but maybe try to be asleep by 9, and that way I can get up early. Max, our dog, wakes me up anyways because he wants to eat, sometimes before 6, but then I've been going back to bed. Anyway, so that's my big thing right now, is trying to make sure I get enough sleep and I get on a decent sleep schedule. So I think that's almost it basically until I report my weight for this week. But I was on a 3-hour long live stream last night. I tried to get it set up to stream to my channel, and the mistake I made was I waited until it was basically starting and I was rushing, and it ended up, I don't think it streamed to my channel. And so I'm so bummed. But anyways, it was 3 hours. It was kind of like an Austin, Texas recap. We had a bunch of us on there. It was on the live stream that Todd, Lindy, and Michael do every week. They're 700 plus and counting live stream. And we had a whole bunch of people that were at the Hack Your Health conference and were there in Austin, Texas, that were also being filmed for Healing Humanity and part of the Healing Humanity crew. So we had trying to just think through the grid, and we had some people pop in and out, but we had obviously Todd and Lindy and Michael. We had Bella from Steak and Butter Gang. I think I was in the middle, and then we had Ashley from Carnivore Brothers. We had Brett from Hoosier Carnivore. For a while we had Raymond, Coach Raymond. We had Coach Emily on there for a little while. We had Coach Amy pop in, and we had Adam from Carnivore Today. And I hope I didn't miss any. Oh, and we had Missy, who is one of the Steak and Butter Gang, and she popped in, which was really awesome. And so I've never actually been actively involved in a live stream that long. Didn't know if I could do it or not, but it was really nice. And we shared a lot of pictures and a lot of memories. And so if you're really interested in hearing everybody's stories about their experience at Hack Your Health and with our Austin trip, and see some pictures that everybody took, go check out one of their other channels. I don't think I streamed to Bella's channel as well, but pretty much most everybody else is streamed to their channel. So you can catch it, Todd, Lindy's channel, and I don't know if Michael has a channel, but you can catch it on Ashley on Carnivore Brothers, Brett on Hoosier Carnivore, not an Adam on Carnivore Today. You can check it out on any of those channels. And I'm just so bummed it didn't show up on mine. My goodness. So things I have in the works. So I have a whole bunch of things that I'm planning. I've got some interviews, some people that I met in Texas that I want to bring on to do live streams. I'm getting slow about sending out my booking calendar. I'm also in the process of coordinating something with Dave Mack from Zero Carb Life. I'm going to share my story sometime soon, hopefully within the next couple of weeks or so, with him. And I think he pre-records. And then, so I have no idea when it's going to be actually published. And then on July 18th, I'll be doing a recording with Dr. Chafee for his channel. That's way out there. So I'll give plenty of notice for sure. But anyways, that's pretty much it as far as updates for this week. And one more thing. I noticed I've been eating more ever since I got back from Texas. I think having all of that steak fed and have this constant, stream of never-ending steak really triggered my appetite. And because I would eat maybe 1.5 pounds of beef a day, and I'm finding that I can really put away a large piece of steak now, and I'm eating at least a couple times a day, maybe plus a snack. So my appetite is actually quite good. So I don't know, I'm not officially priming, because I think you're supposed to get to like 7,000-8,000 calories a day, but I'm definitely much closer than I was before. So I think that's good. Like I like to listen to my body, and I like to just, if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. And I figure my body is still in the healing process. I have come so far with my Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, with losing weight, but there's still so much more healing to do. And it's been a year, and I know this can take a lot of time. So I'm here for it. All right, let's get to my results this week. And I have to say, they are boring. Really just boring. My scale said exactly the same thing except for one little metric. So my weight, I weighed in this morning at 247.6, exactly the same as last week. Everything is exactly the same except for my fat-free body weight, which went up a measly little 0.2. So, but that means that I lost zero point 0.2 of fat. Because if my fat-free body weight went up 0.2, still scale stayed the same, that means I lost 0.2 of fat. So I'll take it. If you don't know how I calculated that, I have a video that I posted just recently on how to do that calculation. That's okay. I will take 0.2. And that 0.2 this week of fat-free body weight increase was all fluid. Muscle didn't change, bone didn't change. It was just fluid. And I had been down fluid before. So overall, my fluid this week is flatlined. So totals since the very beginning. The scale has me down 92 pounds. I have gained 26.4 pounds of good tissue, including muscle and bone. And so my total fat loss since May 29th is my first, when I first started, is 118.4 pounds. Now before Texas, I was up to 120. Not back there yet again, but I'm at 118.4 and my body's obviously hanging out. It just wants to hang out where it is right now. So we'll see what happens. There's so much that impacts your weight. There's so much that impacts your body composition. I know some weak areas. My sleep is a weak area, and we'll see how I do if I get off of coffee and get that dairy back out of my life. Like I said, I haven't been doing a ton of dairy, but I've been doing some, at least the heavy cream each day. So we'll see how it goes. And again, the primary reason for me weaning back off coffee again is not necessarily because I want to lose more weight, which I do, of course, but I think I want to see how my energy is impacted by it and how my sleep is impacted by it. Okay, so overall, since the very beginning, I've gained 24.8 pounds of muscle. I've gained 1.6 pounds of bone. And as of this week, my fluid gain loss is 0. Again, if you've been around long enough, you know it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And every once in a while, every few weeks, it's back to 0. Yeah, so boring week from a weight perspective. But it's okay. I've actually told Dave, I said, I'm at the point right now where if for some strange reason my weight decided to stay where it is now, I could be very functional in life. And I'm not hoping that that's the case. I do feel as though I need to lose maybe 50, possibly 60 more pounds. And I know that because I can see I've got the fat, and it's really a lot of fat on my belly. I think it's disproportionately on my belly now, and my limbs are getting thinner, but they still have fat. Absolutely, they still have fat. And but I think that if I stayed exactly where I am now, I could live fine. Like, I'm able to fly in an airplane and sit in coach, should not have to buy a first class ticket. I can, the seatbelt is fine. I could sit in any chair in any restaurant now. I don't have to worry about that anymore. There's so much I can do now for myself. Now this is something new. I can actually shave my legs. Now that may seem like a silly thing, but when you're huge, shaving your legs, no. It's not going to happen, especially since when you bend down, you can't breathe because there's too much belly in there, and I can't breathe, and I feel like I'm going to pass out. And trying to straddle a bathtub, it's just awkward. And so I would occasionally shave my legs before, but I can actually shave my legs now, and so that's really good. I'm happy about that. Of course, I cut myself. That's the downside. I always manage to nick here or there and cut myself. But anyways, let's see. So this Thursday, so we've started a keto study club. This Thursday, it is a crazy group. We had our first one, and it went really well. I'm super excited. So we're going through this book here. It is a meaty textbook. And last week, someone called out me on using meaty as a pun, and I didn't even realize it. But yes, it is a meaty textbook, and we're doing a very different type of live stream. We're actually reading to each other and just we're taking turns reading a section and then discussing it. And it's just for science nerds. So if you're a science nerd, and if you have this is a huge, very intimidating book. So if you want to learn and you want to go through this book, but you don't really want to read it yourself, join us. Listen in, watch the replay. And so we're going to do session 2 this week. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope everyone's having an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.